after with the overreaction to opening day. I mean, it has been great. Dodgers fans have flooded the phone line. Still can't believe what happened. Kershaw, it was the lock of the century. I mean, Clayton Kershaw, in his 8 prior opening day starts, have given up 6 earned runs. It's insane. Absolutely insane. He got hit hard yesterday. Bellinger hit a homer, but then it wasn't because Justin Turner didn't realize it went over the fence and ran the wrong way. So that was a problem. And I mean, the whole thing is just a mess. It's a disaster. And I couldn't believe that happened. But Dodgers going to be fine. Yankees going to be fine. So annoyed for my Dodgers yesterday, for my Yankees yesterday, for my World Series pick yesterday. Cole with that meatball and Hernandez deposited it for a 2-2 tie. Crazy. Yankees couldn't have hit water if they fell out of a boat yesterday with runners in scoring position. LeMahieu, Judge. How about in the 10th? What transpired with Hicks and Giancarlo and Gleyber Torres, 3 consecutive strikeouts. That's your ball game. So a lot of Dodgers talk, a lot of Yankees talk. We stressed a lot on the Angels, their rally, their win. Mike Trout showing emotion. Padres with the comeback win. A lot of conversation on the Phillies and the Braves. Miguel Cabrera, that was awesome. He slid into second on his home run on opening day in the snow in Detroit because he didn't realize it was a home run. I mean, so thrilled for Miggy. He's a generational talent in terms of a legendary right-handed stick. He's in the twilight of his career, so anytime you can give him a little love, that's great stuff. Baseball has been incredible on the show today. Scheinbox question, the best moment on opening day was, have fun filling in the blank. Poll question, do you like the extra inning rule with a runner starting on second base? I despise it, so we can certainly continue that conversation. I can't wait for those percentages. Spent a lot of time talking about the North Carolina job and who's next. A lot of time talking about the Trey Lance buzz for the San Francisco 49ers, what that means for Justin Fields, what it means for the New England Patriots. Some great Final Four discussion last hour. We mentioned the Denver Nuggets taking care of business again last night. I sat down. Theo loves watching basketball. I mean, basically, the first half is all you needed to see with Brooklyn and Charlotte. Charlotte's a good team. I mean, the Nets absolutely just punked Charlotte. They didn't have KD. They didn't have Harden. They didn't have Blake Griffin, and it didn't matter. LaMarcus Aldridge, I thought, played really well last night. Kyrie was terrific. No one's beaten the Brooklyn Nets. And by the way, the Warriors, they're in a major funk. They continue to lose. They have been very disappointing recently. That was another struggle for the Golden State Warriors in a surprising fashion, I might add. They are in jeopardy. They are in jeopardy here of not making the playoffs. How about Draymond Green? He's not really into everything going on with regards to everything with the play-in game, so we'll see how that works in terms of the effort down the stretch. I'm sure Steve Kerr was not exactly enamored here with regards to those comments when you look at it from everything from Draymond Green after the game. Bob, what is this from our friend Pete Thamel over on Twitter? What is this from Pete Thamel?
I knew that this would shock you, Adam. So Pete Thamel just tweeted, Kansas announces they have signed Bill Self to a lifetime contract. The current deal is being replaced with a new 5-year rolling agreement that automatically ends 1 year at the conclusion of each season for the remainder of his career. Thamel adds, interesting that Kansas did this while searching for an athletic director. It also signals what everyone there has long said. They are going to ride through all the upcoming NCAA issues with Bill Self.
I mean, you can't make it up. Bill Self, who always chokes in March, always underachieves. You got a cloud of NCAA violations, investigations hanging over. Let's give him a lifetime deal. My goodness, you poor, poor people of Kansas. Calls have been off the charts today. Kyle in Rhode Island, our good friends. Next on Sports.
Good morning, Adam. Happy Friday to you, sir.
What's up, Kyle? Always a pleasure, my friend. Appreciate your patience today. What's cooking?
Oh, no worries, Adam. Always wait for you. Adam, I didn't get the call yesterday, but baseball's back, Adam. I'm so excited. My Red Sox are getting a cloud cancellation today, so that's good. But I'm happy that season's finally going for my Red Sox today. But I'm calling about, you talked about the rules that changed, and I was disappointed in also in agreement with you about the DH not becoming a thing in the National League. But I have to say, Adam, and hear me out with this, adding someone to second base to start the extra innings. I'm going to take you back to earlier in the week on your show, and you talked about college basketball and these late-night March Madness games. Baseball got a 162-game season. And I know a couple callers already hit this, and Jessica hit it in your interview today. I don't mind it because it's going to shorten the games, and in the end of the day, it's probably going to come out in the wash. Your team's going to probably, let's say there's 20 games. You might win 20. You might win 10, you might lose 10.
I don't even care, and I know how it sounds. I don't care because the Yankees lost. Notice, I'm not blaming the Yankee loss on the extra inning rule. First of all, and Jess summed it up perfect. It's jarring. Even though she likes it and she, she's used to it from when she was a superstar softball player, it comes out of nowhere. Look, I'm staying consistent. I hate the gimmicks, right? I hate when football changes in overtime. I hate the game's the game. And baseball forever has done it right. The NBA's done it right. It's a pet peeve of mine. Again, in a pandemic, that's different. Throw anything and everything against the wall and see what works. I don't think it worked. Now, some people might counter and say, Adam, you're spending time on it. That's buzz. That means it works. I don't think so. I think I'm not angry as a Yankee fan at all, that we lost and there was a runner on second, and, we didn't have Chapman yesterday. And I'm not that's not part of my anger and frustration as a Yankee fan. But can you imagine when games start getting for real down the stretch of the season and, you got a gimmick and extra innings? I'm telling you, people don't even realize yet how livid they're going to be.
I can understand that, but at least right now, and I know it doesn't change as the season goes on, but I look at it as, especially just take the Red Sox, for example. If I'm going to see them lose in the 10th inning or the 17th inning, I'd rather see them lose in the 10th because I don't want to stay up the extra few hours just for a regular season game. That's just my East Coast bias, Adam. But I'm going to move over to the Final Four. March, Adam, well, we're April now, but March Madness concluding up this weekend into Monday. I think Gonzaga is going to walk over UCLA, and I think Baylor will be the best chance for us to have at least a decent game on Monday night. I still think Gonzaga is going to win it all, but if Houston wins, I think it's going to be less of a mismatch for Gonzaga Monday night, but I think Baylor will be the better matchup for us to at least enjoy something as we burn the midnight oil on Monday night to listen to one shining moment in the end, Adam.
Absolutely, Kyle. And I want to see Baylor and Gonzaga. I think during the regular season, and Kyle, brilliant stuff as always, appreciated. There were 3 teams in the regular season that were a cut above. Gonzaga, draw a line, and I said it at the time, then Michigan and Baylor. And I always thought Gonzaga was better than Michigan, even when Livers was healthy. And Michigan was just, storming the castle and crunching the rest of the Big Ten and some really good teams. And they were just, had lopsided affair after sheer domination. I agree with you. Gonzaga would beat Houston by 25 points. Baylor would be a good game. I think UCLA, in theory, of the 3 is the best challenge. Seriously, the way UCLA is playing, I think of the 3 teams remaining, if I had to rank it in terms of toughest challenge for Gonzaga, I'd go UCLA, Baylor, and then I would go with Houston. Dr. Falcon in Los Angeles, our good friends. Next shot on sports.
Happy Sports Friday, baby. I love it. This week has been off the charts relative to a sports fan, man. You had the off-the-charts workouts and pro days by Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Jamar Chase, and Kyle Pitts. Incredible times. And then you had opening day yesterday, Adam. But here I want to talk about college basketball, man. I'm out here. I'm pulling for UCLA. I'm calling it. I'm calling a shocking upset. UCLA will beat Gonzaga. And why not UCLA, Adam?
Well, because of Gonzaga. You really think UCLA is going to beat this historically off-the-charts Gonzaga team? You really think that Kispert and Suggs and my guy Timmy Mark Few's team. I would think, Dr. Falcon, a throwback like you, who's always
Yes.
quoting the names and the stats from yesteryear, you would have such an appreciation for a throwback dominant team like Gonzaga. Shame on you, Dr. Falcon. Shame, 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 shame.
We're living a crazy year, man, and a year where Abilene Christian won in the tournament, and a year where Oral Roberts won, Loyola Chicago. You can't discount the fact that Cronin's team plays defense, and they'll slow the ball down. They're not going to get in a running shoot contest with Gonzaga. Why not UCLA? It's a crazy year. You've seen upsets in the past. In '85, who thought Villanova would shock Georgetown? Georgetown was heavily favored. I can go on and on. George Mason a few years ago, but this team here,
upsets are great, but I don't know. And history is history. But how does this relate to the matchup coming up this weekend? How does this relate? And I love UCLA, and I love watching them. And I made a point: don't even call them Cinderella. This is a great team from a legit conference who earlier before their COVID pause was playing great basketball. So I hear your point on UCLA, but I don't think you're showing Gonzaga enough respect.
Well, here's the thing, Adam, and they play. Everybody bangs on a conference, but Mark Few's a great coach, and Gonzaga's undefeated. Yeah, I have a historical perspective to it, but here's the thing: a thing called chemistry, karma. The it factor. UCLA had to play in this thing just to get to the tournament, and here they are. I'm tired of doubting this team, It cost me, but here they are, and I'm just calling a shocking upset, man. And I'll refrain, Adam. Why not UCLA? It's one of those things. That,
I hear your rooting interest, Dr. Falcon, and I love your passion, and I love how you always, bring it, and you're bringing something different to the table, and I'm with you on UCLA's genius up to this point, but I just need more than history. And, the problem is, this is where my brain goes. In theory, USC was a really good matchup. USC plays great defense. Any UCLA fan, you got to check yourself and give him praise to USC. But if you're being honest and objective, USC plays great defense. USC has stars. USC is a great coach. And they got smoked. That game was over at the first TV timeout. That game was over, and it was scheduled, which I didn't see coming. I thought it would be competitive for 30 minutes, and then bam, Gonzaga would roll and cover the spread. There's a part of me that wants you to be right for the sake of competition for the game, but I want to see the history, and we're going to see the history. Maybe UCLA. I hope UCLA competes for 30 minutes, but those final 10, man, I hear you, Dr. Falcon. I just don't see it. Dwayne in North Carolina, our good friend. Next, Schein on Sports.
Adam, Schein, how you doing today?
Oh, Dwayne, I'm amazing, my friend. What's cooking with you?
I called in to talk my Braves. I thought when you went to Dr. Falcon, he may take my Braves point, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about. But
the best part is where his topic online was Braves. Braves love the Jessica Mendoza interview, Final Four. But Dr. Falcon, he says happy Sports Friday, and you never know where that amazing brain's going to go.
Absolutely. So I called to talking about my Braves, tied it into what Kyle in Rhode Island was talking about. He says he likes the rule. I hate it. I just don't think it's baseball, and I'm not saying that because my Braves lost as a result of it. But I did want to talk about that Braves game. I may be in the minority here, and I talked about it in the Schein box as well. One of the things that I love about opening day is my number one against your number one, and the pitching duels that you get on opening day that you don't get often. Nola versus Fried yesterday, even though the Braves lost, for me, as just a baseball fan and purist, fun to watch. I tweeted you about the Kung Fu Panda home run, but I knew yesterday when Panda or Sandoval hit that home run what I was going to call and talk to you about today, because I knew you're a baseball guy just like me. Everyone's going to talk about the Sandoval home run. I want to talk about the Pache double before that.
By the way, if you're a Braves fan, Like, how cool is that? That's the point, right? That's the look into the crystal ball and say, all right, we got this.
This and I knew, like I said, I tweeted the Sandoval home run. I tweeted it at you. I was super excited, but I knew I was going to call and I was going to talk about Christian Pache. Pache was absolutely embarrassed by Aaron Nola in his previous 2 at-bats before that. And the thing that I love to see as a baseball guy was a rookie, and I don't know if he was working with Chipper Jones in the dugout. I don't know. But he went into that third at-bat, third time through, third time seeing Aaron Nola, and he just looked like he had a different approach at the plate. He puts the ball in play. That even brought up the tying run. I'm just super excited for Pache, especially seeing that he can make that type of adjustment in game. The thing that's frustrating, we keep the extra inning runner on second rule, but Marcell Ozuna has to play in the outfield because there's no DH.
It's so backwards, Dwayne. And as always, my friend, brilliant stuff and brilliant perspective. Not having the DH in the National League is beyond. Think about this: pitchers don't hit on any level. They don't any level except for the National League. I thought what Jess Mendoza said about Kershaw yesterday, in terms of you didn't want to send him around the bases. I mean, that's part of the deal. What a spot on take. Champ in New Mexico, our good friend. Next on Sports.
Schein, man. I mean, I'm right there with you, man. We're leaving runners on base, and Kyle Hendricks, what an elite command pitcher. Dude was all over the map yesterday. I was like that one dude when he was replying to Sonny Killer's tweet. What an actual F. God,
yeah, you're gonna make me lose it again. It's funny. Ever since last Friday, and I was thinking about that. And that was unscripted, obviously, and it was great. And I was literally crying. I never when Sonny. I have like 15 tweets like that from Sonny today, and. So I gotta pull this one up. So I put my picks for the baseball season on from time to shine on Instagram, right?
Right.
I'm gonna lose again. Sonny writes, this is his post on Instagram.
Okay.
Bring your ass to Beantown Pilgrim. Bring your ass to Beantown. You can't I mean, there's literally today on Twitter, there's a picture of Sonny talking about his DraftKings, picture of Sonny talking about how much he loved Bellinger. I mean, he's the crazy uncle at Thanksgiving. He's part of the but the best is it's always like background noise to me, right? And that was the beauty of that tweet last week. I'm like, oh, Sonny, great, love it. I appreciate it. I rarely respond. It's just, it's Sonny, it's great. We're glad he's doing well. Bring your ass to Beantown.
To Beantown Pilgrim. I love Sonny too, man. He is a crazy uncle. That's for sure.
God.
Oh, Sonny.
God.
But all right, let's get it together.
Bring your ass to Beantown, Pilgrim. Bob, did you see that one? Bring your ass to Beantown, Pilgrim.
But I got one yesterday. He was like, Pilgrim, your Yankees can't close. Good luck.
Did he include a picture of himself in it?
Oh, yeah. He was on the porch just sipping a glass of wine.
Bring your ass to Beantown, Pilgrim. I don't even know what that means.
What in the actual F? I love Sonny, man. I love Sonny.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I don't even know if I can follow anything else up with that, man.
I have to take my glasses off. I'm crying.
Mine too. My shades are fogged up right now. But real quick, man. Just yesterday, whatever we lost, but Adam, just some great baseball. I mean, Miggy, that was like majestic, man. I love watching how they had it afterwards in slow motion with the snow falling and Miggy just crushing that ball to right field. And
if you're a
so many
baseball
great
fan
plays.
or if you're a Tigers fan, and I mean this, right? And I love what Mendoza said about Sanchez, and there were some other great moments. To me, Miggy, that home run sliding into second, but Champ, to your
Right.
brilliant point, in the snow, and this is a slugger, a quintessential hitter, the back end of
Right.
his career. I don't know how many more moments we're going to get like that. That was my
Right.
favorite moment from opening day.
Yeah, even my wife, she's like, is it normally snowing like that in baseball games? I'm like, it gets cold in October, but yeah, that was just majestic, man. I mean, the cool slow-mo videos. We've seen some gyms yesterday in the Rocky Dodger game with Story with the beautiful double play, Schein, and what do you know, Gary Sanchez beating out a grounder, Schein? Well, I mean, what was going on yesterday? But, yeah, I'm so happy that baseball's back. Like Tom in Colorado hit the nail on the head, man. It's great for the sports soul. It's great for everybody's normal soul. So great to see it back. Hope my Cubs get it together because we look pitiful. That's where terrible. Hendricks was awful, but glad to see baseball back, Schein. I'm going to hang up, Pilgrim.
I mean, I'm going to lose it all over again. It is great watching the games all day, watching the highlights. The quick pitch this morning is always a great catch up, and when I say get the kids involved, I mean, that's what I tell my kids to watch. Our friend Lauren Gardner was doing the quick pitch this morning on MLB Network. Great stuff. We'll see what you guys choose as the moment of opening day via the Schein Box and more of your outstanding telephone calls right after this.
The NCAA Final Four